everyone. So something that we can do to practice Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, and doing mitzvot, good deeds, is that we can make friendship bracelets to send to our friends to put smiles on their faces. You'll need a few things to create your friendship bracelet. You'll need embroidery floss. In a pack, it looks like this, and when it's out of a pack, it looks like this. You will also need scissors to cut the embroidery floss. If they're sharp scissors like this, you may need to ask an adult for help. And you'll need tape to tape down the embroidery floss once it's knotted so that it's easier to do your stitches. The first step to making a friendship bracelet is picking out your colors. So for my first friendship bracelet, I'm going to do a braid, so I need 3 colors. I'm going to pick green and pink and purple because I know that my friend that I'm making this for likes those colors. So those are my 3 colors for this one. So the next step is to cut your string. I cut mine about 1 foot long, but you might want to go a little bit shorter because you're only making a bracelet. So after you cut it, you tie a little knot in it. You just make a loop. You can have an adult help you make a little knot just to keep the strings together. And then I taped it down so that it's anchored and it won't move when I'm trying to braid it. Okay, so a braid has 3 strands. Okay, there's one down the middle. My pink one's in the middle right now. I have a purple one on my right-hand side and a green on my left-hand side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the purple one and put it over the green one so that the purple is now in the middle. And then I'm gonna take my green one and trade places with the purple one. So what I'm doing is just trading the outside one in an alternating way with the middle one. Okay, so I take the pink and put it back in the middle. And now the pink's in the middle. I'm gonna put the purple back in the middle, okay? And you just keep going like this until you get to the end of your string or until it fits the person that you're making it for. So you can cut your string, you can keep checking it and measuring it if the person you're making it for is in your house, or you can just take a best guess and make it a little bit longer. They can always tie it off together later. So as you can see, I have my braid finished and I'm coming to the end of it. And so here I'm gonna create a knot at the end to keep my braid in place. I made a little loop and I'm just gonna pull it nice and tight. And when I go to cut off the extra, I'm going to leave enough so that the person that I'm sending it to, my friend that I'm sending it to, can cut it to make it their size. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of extra at the end and I'm going to cut it there. And my bracelet is all done. I'll show you, I'll model it. Okay, so I'm gonna send this to my friend Dee Dee. And I hope it puts a smile on her face. And that will be an act of Tikkun Olam, to put a smile on her face. For my next bracelet, I'm gonna do a little bit of a different stitch. So for this one, I'm going to use 4 colors. You can use 3 also. But here are my 4 colors that I'm going to use. And I'm gonna cut them just like I did the other ones. Okay, so I have my 4 very bright colored strings cut and picked out, and they're all bunched together. So what I'm going to do for this stitch is a little bit different. I'm gonna pull out, keep them all together, but pull out 1 string. So I'm gonna start with the one that's separate on the right-hand side. I'm always gonna work on my right side. I'm gonna take that string on the right, and I'm going to make the letter P. Can you see my letter P? So it's a letter P, okay? Make my letter P. I'm gonna put the white goes over the top of the other strings, okay? From there, I'm going to take that white string around that letter P. I'm gonna put it under the other strings, make it nice and tight. I'm gonna pull it all the way up to the top, nice and tight, like that, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna make the letter P. Here's my letter P. over the top of the strings. I'm gonna loop around and underneath the other strings, make it nice and tight, and pull it to the top, nice and tight. If you do this and you get some really good practice at it, it makes a little like winding staircase. It's pretty cool. So now you can see that I have these like little winding stairs right here. I have it in white and in yellow. I was about to start my red string, and I wanted to show you how you start it and switch it from one color to another. So all I did was take it when they were bunched together and put the string I was using back into the bunch, and I pulled out a new string. And all I have to do is the same thing. I'm gonna start with my letter P. Okay. And do the same loop I did before. Loop it around, pull it up nice and tight. As your stitches go down and they get long, this gets longer and longer, your creation, you may want to add a piece of tape. I added an extra piece of tape to hold it down closer to where I'm working. So you can keep adding tape, and it makes it a little bit easier. So I just keep going with my stitches, making my letter P and pulling it up to the top. So it's a little bit hard to tell by the colors that I've chosen and the order that they came in, but I've done stitches in white, yellow, red, and orange. And I finished my last orange stitch, and I wanted to show you that once I finish that, I go back and can go back to using the same one again, and I'm going to make a pattern out of mine. We want to make sure is that you don't do too many stitches in one color all at once, because you don't want to run out of string. So you want to do, like, I think I did 10 stitches or so for every string, and then I switched my color. And then once I finish all of the colors I've used, I go back and start all over again so I can make a pattern. So I finished my pattern a couple of times. I have white, yellow, red, orange, then white, yellow, red, orange. And I want to make sure you can see the little winding staircase a little bit better. It's a pretty cool pattern, I think, to make, and it took too much practice. And now my last step is that I'm going to take it and loop it around my finger and make a knot. And like I said for the other one, you want to make sure you leave enough at the end so that so when your friend gets it, they are able to size it to their own wrist. Okay, and for this one, since it does take a little bit longer to make it, I decided that I wasn't going to make the whole thing stitched like this, but I'm going to make sure that it goes around most of the wrist. I'll model it for you, okay? And then at the around the edges, it might just be a little bit more plain, and that's okay too. And I'll make sure that when I cut it, I leave enough room for my friend that they can tie it around their wrist. All right, I hope you enjoyed making friendship bracelets with me, and I hope you try it if you would like. And